Hey guys, I'm doing a instrument cluster swap here on a 98 S-10, and I'm swapping it to a 2000 Blazer instrument cluster, which has the tach built into it. Now, right now we're looking at my factory cluster, and I'll show you guys. This cluster works fine right now. Right now the switch is in the back position. They're totally off. This is one click on the switch. You see I got my battery light comes on and nothing else. And this is normal. And then when I turn the truck to on, we see all my check gauges lights come on, everything else comes on. My airbag light's staying on because I have the airbag switch removed. So that's the reason why that's sticking on like that. But otherwise with this truck that wouldn't be on. Now I'm going to swap in the other cluster and show you guys how that one behaves. Alright, so here I got the, I now have the Blazer cluster installed. And this cluster is out of a 2000 Blazer that had an automatic transmission. Which I'm pretty sure actually all Blazers have automatic transmissions, but just pointing that out. This truck is an automatic too, but this has the 4-cylinder in it, where the Blazer had the V6. So, you know, a lot of people tell you the tach probably won't read right and all that. Well, I'll show you what this does right here. Now when I turn the key to the very first click, well, yeah, there's first click. You can see my battery light comes on. I got indication of my shift position. I got mileage, and all this works properly. I noticed that there's no airbag light here yet, but you'll notice that the shift indicator works properly, showing me reverse, neutral, drive, 3, 2, 1. That's all proper. Gauges, this is working. Trip's working on that. Now when I turn it all the way to go to where you would start the truck, I get my service engine light, I get my seatbelt light, but I noticed there's no airbag light like there was in the last test. It's telling me that something isn't quite right here. But more importantly, you notice that I lose my digital readouts underneath the gauges. So something's weird. And it's really strange to me because they do work when the key is in the partial position, but as soon as I turn it all the way to on, it does not, it fails to work. Now I'll show you when I start the truck up. The tach appears to be reading properly. And this truck should idle around 800 RPM. Looks like it's about where it's at. My temp gauge looks like it's the right setting. The truck's already warm, that's about the right temp. Oil pressure looks just right. Fuel gauge is reading properly. Volt gauge is reading properly. Like I said, tach is working. And I could try driving this a little bit. And you notice the speedometer moves too. I'm trying to drive it with the door wide open and it's, you know, can't get going too fast. But the speedometer does appear to be moving. Signals work. Everything appears to be working except for these two bottom things aren't working, and the airbag light doesn't light up like it should be right now. Even though I know the light does work, because when I started the truck, when it goes through its on test, you know, it's all the lights come on for a second when it does its power on self test. So, which honestly I could live without, like, the airbag light and stuff like that. I really don't care, the ABS light or whatever. But I gotta have my tach, I gotta have my shift indication and my mileage indicator. And it kind of sucks because it does appear like this cluster does want to work properly, but something is just fundamentally different. And I have no idea what. I imagine probably with a little bit of wiring ingenuity could probably actually adjust this. But what I've read online is that the instrument clusters are very specific to the year. This truck's a 98, and therefore only a 98 vehicle's instrument cluster will work properly in this truck. You know, it just surprises me because this cluster does appear to be working for the most part. Like, all my gauges are working perfectly fine. It's just more the indicator lights and the fact that I'm not getting my odometer set up. So I really have no idea like how I could possibly fix this. And you know, if anybody has any comments, suggestions, ideas, or whatever, I'll leave them down on the bottom. I just figured I'd make this video up quick just to, you know, I know there's a lot of people out there that probably want to do the same kind of thing. They want to have a tach in their truck, and a lot of the 4-cylinders didn't come with the tach, but some did. I have seen these S-10 4-cylinder S-10s that did actually come with this instrument cluster with the tach. So it's, the signals obviously there and everything. They do exist, but they're incredibly hard to find, and especially for the 98 model year. And I guess after 99 was the last year they were really year specific. I think it's 2000 and up. You could swap the clusters between the Blazers and the S-10s, and as long as they were both automatics to begin with, they should work just fine as plug and play. Unfortunately, with the older ones, with like this 98 and the 99, you had to have a specific cluster for that year. So yeah, that's all I got to show you, boys. And like I said, leave your comments. I'd love to hear what you guys think. All right, signing out.